Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Eight podcast, top 5 of the week, here for week 15. Once again, this is your host, the Devious One, Ivan C., alongside with my brothers from another mother. We got the beater of all beaters. He is the Cordonas of the Cordonas, or the Hardys of the Hardys, or he's the Steamboat of Steamboats, the long-lost son of Ricky Steamboat.
The Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. MGC. Matthew Cartagena.
What's up, guys?
All right, we've got some action going on there.
I don't know what kind of action is that. And also we got the hero of all heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, he's your hero. He's Matthew's hero. He's my hero. He's everybody's hero. He is the great American hero, Mike Lopez.
Hold applause, please. Hold applause, because we got to get the top 5 heels going on.
That is right. That is that is right.
Asshole. Asshole. Asshole.
Slut.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Our top 5 picks for the week, for week 15, is the top 5 greatest heels of all time. This is a tough one. I mean, it shouldn't be, but we'll find out. We will have interesting picks. So we'll go ahead and start it off with Mr. MGC. Let's start off with you. So Woo, top to bottom, bottom to top.
We're going to go bottom to top, and I've had this list prepared since ancient times. Now
Ancient times.
Ancient times, or not quite yet. Or ancient times is in 5 minutes. No, I'm playing. So, number 5. I'll put it like this. Everybody wants to know where I've been, and you see, I've wrestled a lot of countries. Number 5 is the big bad booty daddy.
Wow, Scott
Steiner.
Yes.
Wow.
He's my number 5, and it's almost like he's a heel, like he's your classical 1980s jock, and like it. I don't think Scott Steiner does steroids. I've been wanting to say this for a while. Scott Steiner doesn't do steroids. They make steroids. They make steroids out of Scott Steiner's blood. That's where they that's where steroids comes from. It's anybody, like whenever Scott Steiner drools, they take a vacuum cleaner and they take the air, they suck the air out, and just a small amount of that air they turn into steroid supplements. Where
can I obtain these supplements?
Exactly. I want to be. Can you see Mr. Hero needs to get his 6-inch pythons into 24-inch pythons? He needs to get them up there.
Scott Steiner just has to sneeze within 300 feet of you, and then you'll be basically.
He's not Chuck Norris, bro.
You'll turn into Jose Canseco the second that happens. But yeah, Scott Steiner. I think it's like those promos. They're just so much fun to listen to. It's like I listen to that on repeat. It's like he's probably one of the funnest heels I probably listen to on repeat, just because of how insane the crap he says. He's actually like to an extent like that in real life, because they've says it's your real personality turned up to 10 to a degree. But even in one interview, Scott Steiner's kind of embarrassed. He's like, well, I managed Shoney's over in Georgia, but there's nothing better than a woman's juices. I mean,
Man, all right.
Wow.
That first quote that you gave when you brought this number 5 up, I didn't know that it was Scott Steiner because I'd never heard this quote. But as soon as you gave it, I was like, man, that is such a Scott Steiner.
I know. I know, right? Boy, yeah, there you go, Scott.
We could be here all day and talk about all the amazing things he says, but I think it's best just to watch the Steiner Mania video and just take it all in. Nobody's finer than Scott Steiner. When you got his freaks horizontal you could go on an equal to see the Big Dipper or something like that.
Oh
I
my
know,
god.
it's endless. It's endless. So number 4, I don't have a. Do I have a toothpick nearby? Because number 4, you know who it is.
Just
Hey.
use it all the way.
Hey, Chico. Yeah, you're a bad guy.
That's
Throw it at the camera.
Number 4.
Yeah, throw it at the camera, bro. There you go.
The bad guy.
The bad
And
guy.
we got another Scott.
Razor
We got another
Ramon.
Scott. We got Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Razor
Razor Ramon. You want me to clean the table, man? You want me to clean the table? Oh. Oh my god, I love that theme
Dude,
song.
at the NAMM show, like I was walking down like the escalator like this, like, and at like in 8th grade, or it was either 8th or 7th grade, we had a play, and like during the play, whenever the other character was talking, I would do this, like, and I'd do this thing, you know, just all. I think in like 7th and 8th grade, it was just like half the day I would spend doing Scott Hall, Razor Ramon impersonations. You know me, but you don't know why I'm here.
There you go. There
Number
you
4, Scott Hall. Number 3, this is, in real life, this is one of like my favorite people in real life, but he really did, he's one of my favorite people in real life, and I kind of want him to be like we're not gonna get into politics, but I want this guy to become like the next president, and like I follow everything he says from like a political perspective, but now as a wrestler and a color commentator, this guy is just he's so entertaining and a great heel. I'll say his name right now, Jesse Ventura, the Body Ventura, number 3.
Oh, you know what? That is not a bad pick. I'm with you on that.
He healed so hard on Hogan. Like he was heel commentary, he was heel wrestler.
Especially with Gorilla Monsoon. I think that was like one of my favorite duels, him and Gorilla.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura, Gorilla Monsoon. And you know, it gets so deep with him, like, you know, he's one of the people I want to meet before I die too. That's the other thing. It almost goes like, it's kind of crazy. I'd be okay with this guy becoming emperor of the world, you know. That's how much I respect him as a person. But like as a wrestler, he's very, you know, I love his promos. Have you seen the lateral deltoid? You see, I've wrestled the Werewolf of London. I've hung out with REO Speedwagon, you know.
He has a cool voice too.
He does.
You know?
I love his WrestleMania moments that he has as a commentator. He pulls it off.
Well, Tony Schiavone, tonight we got Sting versus Ric Flair. Tonight here on WCW Saturday night. Jesse the Body Ventura. So number 2 is very special because if it wasn't for number 2, a lot of the personality that's derived from like 4 different wrestlers, 2 that I just mentioned, Scott Steiner and Jesse Ventura, the Body Ventura, and 2 I haven't mentioned, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. All 4 of these wrestlers, some of them, I won't say Jesse Ventura openly admitted that he was like impersonating this guy at the beginning of his career. And then Hulk Hogan got some of the ideas for his whole look from him and the way he did promos, you know, and he'd actually had some of the best promos like in the business in the early days. You could guess who it is. He held the title for a long period of time.
Superstar
Billy Graham.
Yep, I called it. Once you said that he tried to be like Hogan, yep, Billy Graham. He was the only one.
Scott Steiner even copied his promo too. Close your eyes and fantasize about the perfect man. Now open your eyes and look at me. You see these muscles? You'll never see a sexier man than me. You know? The superstar Billy Graham.
Good
That's
pick.
Like so I said about Scott Steiner, like steroids comes from Scott Steiner's blood. So I think Scott Steiner's DNA was probably came from a hair that fell out of
Billy Graham's
head. That hair fell into the ground, and then that got watered, and then that grew out of the ground, and that became Scott Steiner. That's what happened. Don't question. That's how. And then another one of Billy Graham's hairs fell out, and that became Hulk Hogan. And another hair became Randy Savage, and another one became Jesse Ventura.
Jeez.
Wow. All right, now the drum roll. Number
one. Number one. Roddy Piper.
Damn, you son of a gun.
I am an icon. It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Of course.
Because I
need to see that movie again.
I'm all out of bubblegum.
I actually haven't seen that movie. I've been curious.
It actually was not a bad movie, to be honest.
Have any of you guys seen the fight scene in They Live?
I don't know.
That's like one of the longest fight scenes in cinematic history, because it goes on for, I think, like a whole 15 minutes or something like that. It's a fight scene you thought would never end, but that's pretty much how like actual fist fights are, though. And I think he fights the guy from the Allstate commercial.
Oh shit!
Roddy Piper versus the Allstate guy.
The 40% discount guy.
Yeah. They mess each other up bad. Like they rock each other hard.
I met that guy. He's a tall motherfucker, man. He's fucking tall. He's tall.
That's Allstate. Here at Allstate, you could say, I'll put you in a sleeper hold. And then Roddy Piper comes out.
I miss Piper. I really do.
We miss you so much, Piper. It's one of the best promos. His daughter, Teal Piper's, she was in the Women's Battle Royale.
I saw her. She didn't do much, obviously, you could tell.
Yeah.
She has a lot more to learn. Yeah, she's still
training. Yeah.
How old is she? Like early 20s?
I believe so, yeah. Well, like early 20s. Or like close to mids. But, I mean, she has a look. I think I haven't heard her my skills yet. I need to see more. But I can see her future will be good as, being, Roddy Piper's daughter. And I think
her and Brooke Hogan hang out all the time for some reason. Like they're really like I think I was watching a Brooke Hogan interview, and Brooke Hogan just refers to her as Piper like the whole time, even though her real name is like something Ariel Teal Toombs.
Yeah, Toombs. Yeah, because Piper's last name is Toombs.
Yeah,
but and don't forget that Toombs, Piper is related to Bret Hart. They're cousins.
The family.
They're cousins.
It's one of those. They talked about the things like some wrestlers that like actually have cooler real names than some of like the names that they went, like their names they got known for. Like of course Matt Steamboat, like Matt
Cardona.
Ricky Steamboat would have been
Matt Jackson
because he's Ricky Blood. He's Ricky Blood, so
Ricky Blood.
Yeah,
huh?
Blood's his real last name. So my honorable mentions. Are Chris Jericho.
Okay.
So many. He was probably like 80% of his career is like heel. I'd say he's babyface. Not that often. Like Chris Jericho is babyface as often as you go to Long John Silver's. Or
wow.
See, wow. I'm on fire with these analogies today.
All right.
He's this babyface as often as you see a Caro's restaurant.
You have one more honorable mention.
Big Boss Man, a.k.a. Big Bubba Rogers.
Oh, yeah. I love that theme song, by the way. You know what? I forgot to add him on the theme songs one. So, look at the archives, ladies and gentlemen. Archives on the channel.
Just the sound of that.
Oh, hey, but that guy was perfect with the line stick. He was perfect.
You just,
Yeah, I couldn't even do that shit. Nope.
Hearing that nightstick hit the steel steps before the match was so cool. Like if there's any like workhorse heel that I just like seeing like week in, week out, it's Big Bubba Rogers. You know, and he was the enforcer for the Midnight Express.
Yes.
You know, so he knows all like he's known to be like a great worker. So you know, he's a great guy to work with. So you know,
Man.
if there's any heel, if he was still young, and I was a promoter, I'd want him in my promotion. So
I actually was kind of teary-eyed for him when he passed away.
yeah,
It was unexpected. Another unexpected, like, boss man. I mean, I loved him in the 80s era, WWF era. My favorite match with him, obviously, was the Mountie, you know, the loser goes to jail match. Everybody remembers that one. That was really an instant classic. Loser goes to jail match. The Mountie ended up going to jail. It's a Chicago PD prison cell. Like, oh, I don't remember what event was it. Was it Survivor Series or was it SummerSlam? One of those two, right? I don't remember. It wasn't a Mania match. I know that. But yeah, Boss Man, definitely. I mean, I'm with you. I love your list is wow.
He's the only one that would be able to feed a dog to somebody else, you know. What's up to Pepper, you know?
Pepper.
Al Snow.
Pepper.
Al Snow looks way different now. It's like he got like a super tan. Like I didn't even recognize him when they showed him.
Oh
and he also stole the Big Show's dad's casket.
Oh my God, that was another one.
It's weird. It's like The Rock and Al Snow are buffer now than they were when they were in WWE.
Oh yeah.
They're both bigger now,
Mm-hmm.
like physically. It's so weird.
Steroids. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, Scott Steiner's blood. Scott Steiner's blood.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner must have bled like within 10 feet of them or something.
All right, good fucking picks, brother. Good shit. All right, so of course I'm going to save the Great American Hero for last, so I'm going to go right next. So my number 5. My number 5. Man, this is going to be a tough one. You know what? My number 5 would be the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I love it. I wish I could do that live. I can't do it, but it had to be Ted DiBiase. He pulled it off with the gimmick. We went with it all the way. I love it.
Everybody's got a price.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Everybody got a price.
Everybody's got a price.
He pulled that shit off perfect. I love it. He did it with throughout the years as a heel. I love him. I'm glad he never went face in WWF. He did a great job. I wish that he could have, used him more, and especially as a manager role, he was not bad. I said it's a manager role. I like the Money Inc. That he did, both versions. He had 2 versions of it. I wish he could have. His son could have followed his footsteps, like Ted DiBiase Jr. could have followed his footsteps longer. And I think he would have been like his father, creating his own Money Inc. When at the time with Cody. I think Jimmy Snuka's son, who was there. Remember when they were in Legacy with Randy Orton? I think they used Jimmy Snuka's son. They could have used third generation.
He tried to on me.
So yeah, I mean, DiBiase my number 5. My number 4. I mean, I will have this one. This is gonna be a tough. Okay, well, look, my number 4 will be obviously, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He has to be there. Ric Flair pissed a lot of people off. He did. And he can kiss that girl and make her cry.
Was Flair like a heel like maybe 60 or 70% of the time?
70% of the time he was majority heel.
Yeah.
He was never. It was rare, especially during the NWA era, even that era, especially in WCW too. I loved him when he was a heel. He was maybe better off a heel. 30%
baby face.
Yeah. But I loved him as a heel. He pulled it off. Like, I love it. He pulled it off. So that's my number 4, Ric Flair. My number 3.
Dirtiest player in the game.
Yes, the dirtiest player in the game. My number 3. It's going to be a tough one. Okay, my number 3 would actually be... it will actually be The Rock. He was not a bad heel. I love him as a heel with the Nation. He pulled it out.
That's where he got his chops. That's how he learned to talk smack.
Yep. I loved him as a heel. He annoyed the shit out of me.
Hey,
know your role.
And know your role.
So I have to give it to The Rock on that one. I mean, that's like my number 3 right there. And my number 2, well, I have to include him on this one, even though it's the present. But I love it because the fact that he's been doing it for so long, and I think he's done a phenomenal job with it and still doing with it, will be Randy Orton. Randy Orton, of course, is still like a top heel, and he's making like how we saw, on Friday. We saw on Friday, obviously, we saw that, Mike and I were intrigued of like this, the storyline, what Randy Orton is doing, bringing back that legend killer.
What was his other thing? Was it his nickname, the Viper, or was it
the Viper?
The Viper. He even got like an early start on, like he was purposely trying to annoy people. It's like, here's an update. My arm is 5% healed. Like every week he did a
oh my god, yep,
broken arm.
And my number one, because I despised him, and he did have a nose like me, will be Triple H.
There you go.
The greatest heel. Has to be the greatest heel of all time, because especially in the Attitude Era. Wow, when he became a champ, when he turned heel on DX, that was it. He won me out, but I was annoyed of it. I was sick and tired of seeing him getting away with the belt. That's how much. Corporate. Oh my god, corporate, man. I hate it.
The McMahon Helmsley faction.
Oh my god, it was. Annoying. It was annoying, and I thought he would lose the belt after so many pay-per-views, and he did not. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch, why? Should have lost the belt. That's how it was. I was so pissed off. But I have to give it equal credit to do. Triple H is one of the greatest heels, and and because of his his peers, Ric Flair, Buddy Rogers as well, and Hardy Race is another peers of his. Don't get me wrong, Hardy Race, which I'm mentioning him, he's one of my honorable mentions. So Hardy Race was also a phenomenal heel, especially his run in NWA. He did
King Hardy Race
in WWF. He pulled it off, man. So I had to give Hardy Race is my one of my honorable mentions on that. And my last honorable mention, because I was in 2, my last honorable mention would be actually Savage. Savage as a heel.
Savage.
Savage pulled it off as a fucking great heel. I loved it. I love how he was storylines with Jake, with Hogan, with Warrior, with like so many. With Dusty Rhodes. So many I could name. Like he had a lot of great heel history with all these individuals.
All the guys who are really good at giving promos always make great heels.
Mm-hmm. And Savage was a great promo guy. I think one of the best out of all time. I mean, shit. It's between him and Piper, to be honest. Piper is like another one, too. It's so hard.
Cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right, save for last. Best for last, the great American hero, Mike Lopez. Take it away.
Okay, so at number 5, I have the wrestling god, JBL. Man, I have never seen anybody do what he did. He went to the border and he stopped people from coming in all because he wanted to piss off Eddie Guerrero.
My God.
This was before Zeb Coulter, right? This was before.
Yeah, way before.
Yeah.
And he also beat up the Blue Meanie, and so many people hated this guy in and out of the ring.
Heat. He's getting go-away heat. Yeah.
I mean, but he was getting such a heat that he held the SmackDown or the WWF championship for almost a year or over a year. I can't remember. But, yeah, I mean, this guy, he turned his career around in such a way that he went from mid-card to main event guy in such a sudden way. So number 5, JBL. At number 4, I also have Triple H in my list.
There you go.
Triple H, man, I remember it was at the time when wrestling was at its peak, and just as much as everybody knew Rock and Austin as the heroes, everybody knew Triple H to be the villain. And everybody just wanted this guy to lose, and he kept winning and beating up everybody.
Baby faces chasing the title. That's where you make the money.
Absolutely. And yeah, you can't have a good hero without a good villain, So there's number 4, Triple H. Excuse me.
All right.
Number 3. For number 3, I'm going outside of pro wrestling. I'm going to the MMA world here. My number 3 is Chael Sonnen.
Wow, Chael Sonnen?
Yes, sir.
So you're going to the MMA world. All right, I like this.
The American Gangster. This guy brought promos and he brought a heel persona to MMA. And if you search up Chael Sonnen moments, man, there's like hours upon hours of promos that he made, and he would come out with fake belts and claim that he's undefeated and undisputed, and just to piss off people.
He did, man. I'm with you. Wow, you were bringing back history.
Yes, and the entire country of Brazil wanted this guy dead. Oh my goodness!
I forgot about that. Wow.
How is Chael Sonnen and Conor McGregor towards each other? Do they like each other? Do they hate each other?
Different weight classes.
How do they feel about each other personally, though?
Personally,
do they hate each other? Do they know each other?
They know each other. Shit? No, it hasn't happened. It never happened because Chael is heavier than McGregor. So
but they could meet each other at a bar and talk smack at each other, and then something could happen.
I mean, I'm sure people would.
McGregor whoop his ass. McGregor whoop his ass. I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
Chael?
I really think Chael would win.
Different weight class. You're right.
Different weight. Not only is he heavier, but if Khabib was able to take him and Nate Diaz was able to take him down, then I'm pretty sure Chael would have him down like in an instant. But anyway, this guy, man, the country of he was escorted in and out of the country of Brazil because people just hated him so much. I remember watching UFC 148, and I was in it was like at a sports bar, and I was with my friends, and I was a Sonnen guy all the way, and the people in the table next to me, they were Brazilians, and they were like yelling, like, because Chael lost the title fight. People were like yelling at me specifically because I was, the Chael guy, but people were so angered at this guy, and it was real heat. So for that, number 3, Chael Sonnen. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. And number 2, I have MJF.
I think that I forgot about him.
Upstart.
You got a good upstart, man.
I really feel that this young man has a bright future in the world.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
Exactly.
I should have worn a scarf today just for this episode. I have that Burberry
my
scarf.
design of the T-shirt kind of reflects the scarf a little bit.
There you go. Yeah.
I should have. Now you guys made me regret not wearing my Burberry scarf today. Even though it's hot as hell, I've got AC in my room, so
Oh, it's hot. Yeah, it's really hot in LA today. But MJF's career is also just as hot because he's about to get his first world championship match pretty soon, and I actually hope he wins. I feel that he has the potential to be a good champion. He has the mic skills, he's good in the ring, and he's an awesome heel. So number 2 is MJF. At number 1. And I'm picking this guy not because of his wrestling career, not because of in-ring ability, but mainly because I cannot stand this character. And I'm not saying the man portraying him, the character of Brother Love. I cannot stand that. Oh my god!
Bruce
It's like I wish the Dudleys could put him through a table because
Let me
but
text
yeah,
Bruce, they don't love you, bro.
I know I can't stand that character. I think it's awful, and I wish he could be put through a table, a ladder, and a chair at the same time.
I text Bruce already, so I don't know if he
Let him know.
Yeah, I let him know.
He's got his box of gimmicks ready to go.
But anyway, that's my number one, just because I can't stand that character.
I love you.
Honorable mentions. I have two. The first being, Chris Jericho. He is obviously a guy that not only has reinvented himself as a face, but as a heel. It just proves just how creative and versatile this man is, which is very much needed in the world of professional wrestling if you're going to stay relevant as long as he has.
Drink it in, man.
You know what happens? You know what happens when you put him as an honorable mention? You know what happens? You just make the list.
Use the list.
I actually said that I've actually used that on students too. Like you know what just happened right now? You just made the list. Yeah, true story.
Hey, I gotta say, Mike, drink it in, man. The gift
I'm drinking it in, all right.
Michelada. That's what I was like when he won at Double or Nothing. I was screaming that from my seat. Like some people were like disappointed that Omega lost, but I was like, drink it in, man. Drink it in.
Yeah, Jericho, he has so many catchy lines from the list to the Ayatollah stuff. For me, honestly, my favorite was his WCW run as a heel.
A conspiracy.
Yes, I like that. I like
Rufus. Skiabone, it's a conspiracy.
Or Ralphus, I think it was.
Ralphus,
his security guard. I remember when I had a band. I remember I wanted a security guard to follow us around, just like he did. But yeah, I mean, awesome. Jericho, first honorable mention, and my second is the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Woo!
Woo! This guy was everything people wanted to hate at that point in time. He had the money, he had the girls. Ladies, none of you can be first, but all of you could be next. All that good, all those very cool quotes.
Space Mountain, oldest ride, longest line.
Oldest ride, longest line. Woo!
That's, very innovative for his time.
These shoes cost more than your house.
I still want some alligator shoes because of the Nature Boy. But yeah, I actually wouldn't mind meeting Ric Flair. That's one of the wrestlers that I wouldn't mind meeting down the road. But yeah, he's got music videos of him made, songs and stuff. So he's still relevant even today. But yeah, so that's my list.
All right, what a wonderful
list. You just made the list.
Nah, but Jericho, I'm with you with Jericho. I think my favorite Jericho heel moment when he teamed up with the Big Show. I think that was like one of my favorites when he was with the Big Show, and how Jericho with the suit, everything with the Big Show. I think that was like one of my favorites. And
I am the best in the world at what I do.
Yep, I love that feud with him, CM Punk. I love the feud. I love when he went to New Japan. I love when he did that. Oh, I think that was like the best ever right there. Jericho, hats to you, my brother. You have pulled off every gimmick and have made it to the top of the mountain.
I have a quick question for both of you about how you guys feel about these two people as heels. Since we're including like managers also, how do you guys feel about Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and how do you guys feel about Jim Cornette as in-ring heel?
I love Cornette as an in-ring heel, especially with him with the Midnight Express. We go back into the Smoky Mountain days as well. I loved him when he was with Owen Hart and Yokozuna. He did a phenomenal, great job. I wish Cornette would be around, but he retired already. He already announced his retirement. He's no longer, doing anything unless if there's like an event, but it cannot be AEW, obviously. He's banned from AEW. He can be from WWE. Not that they didn't ban him because he wouldn't go there.
Vince likes him. Vince likes him.
Vince
no matter what he says about the company, Vince is always like, "You're always welcome back, my son."
Mm-hmm. I would like to see Cornette managing FTR for one event. I would love for him to. That would be
cool.
I would love for him to go manage them against the Young Bucks and them taking the gold. That's what I would like to see. Jim Cornette. Because, he's a Jim Cornette guy. Jim FTR is like, that's his people's right there.
Yeah.
And with MJF, too, that would be great. MJ doesn't need a manager. He has the
idea that they represent, like, the sons of Cornette is what I'm thinking.
Yes. That would be a great stable.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan, though.
Hogan, no,
I thought Hogan was a cool heel, like he spray painted people and all that stuff, and who wouldn't want to do something like that,
Because the psychological effect was, it's like if Superman became a bad guy, basically was the idea, because he was a babyface for such a long period of time. People only knew him as a babyface at that point, even though he was a heel in the early days in Minneapolis and AWA, but not everybody knew about that. So majority of the crowds knew about Hogan as like a Superman kind of good guy. And because remember, he was heel when he started his career with Freddie Blassie in AWA. Mm-hmm.
So but he had a manager, Freddie Blassie, he wasn't bad. But it's just that he had no charisma at that time. If you notice that he couldn't speak for shit in the mic. That's what they had to put Freddie Blassie with him, and he learned from him how to talk on the mic, because Hogan didn't know shit about talking to the mic, and his wrestling skills at that time were shitty as fuck. I mean, even Lopez said it. Even to this day, on Lopez's deathbed when he passed away, he's like, Hulk Hogan is not a professional wrestler. He buries Hulk Hogan to this day, even before he passed away. Lopez never liked him. Never liked him because of his
words.
Yeah. And, Luther's a legend, man. That's a fucking legend. That's a pro wrestler. So, Hogan, on the other hand, him as an NWO was great. I love the whole spray painting, but you could tell
that was very psychological.
Yeah, but if you paid attention to the way how he was doing his heel gimmick, he wasn't really like trying his best. I think it was really more Scott Hall and Nash that did more of the damage than Hogan.
Really sell the whole package. You really
exactly
Big Kev and Scotty there.
Exactly, because if you pay attention, go back and watch it again. Watch Hogan on the mic, and he sucks as a heel in the mic. Hogan has never been a great mic person throughout all his career. That's why he always had what do you think he had a Bischoff? What do you think he had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall? He couldn't. For me. Him as a heel, he couldn't pull it off. He tried. He's too. No matter what, he's a babyface to me. No matter what, he's an American hero. Not like you, the greatest American hero.
No, not close.
Mike, your take on Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, to me, like I said, he's always been like the cool heel, like the Godfather sort of thing, where he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. He has Hall and Nash to do, the heavy lifting there. As far as, beating people up. He was cool. I've always seen him more as a face, even to this day.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really even considered him to be on the list because
there was that cool dynamic of when it's the ultimate, that Batman saying you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And then because it was Roddy Piper versus Hogan in WCW, and Roddy Piper was babyface and Hogan was heel, and they flipped it around, because because Roddy Piper was the Lex Luger to Hulk Hogan's Superman. So it's like you flip the script on both of them. So I thought that was really cool to see.
I like that. Yeah. You know what? I'm with you in that because that was actually great in WCW. because they had the rivalries for decades. I mean, from since WWF, and then to them to switch it off to Busted 360, like okay, I like to see that. Why not? So I love when Roddy Piper gets involved in those type of those segments with Hogan.
I want to see that with MJF and Kenny Omega. Like I want to see them. I want to see them face each other as different alignments, and then face each other as the reverse. Like I want to see both of those things happen.
I see. We'll see. What we need to see is Machine versus Machine, Omega and Brian Cage. We need to see that. We have to see Kenny Omega bringing back the old school half Terminator, the cleaner. He needs to bring back the cleaner version versus the Machine. And that I would like to see. That's a match I think we're all waiting to see. But you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in for our top 5 of the week, week 15. Stay tuned for next Sunday. Our top 16 pick is going to be our top 5 SummerSlams of all time. Our top, could be either matches, moments, or, throw the whole pay-per-view. So it's going to be, the top 5 SummerSlam of all time. Just our favorites. Then the following one we'll do, I think it's about time we kind of switch it up. I think we're going to go ahead and do for week 17. Let's be creative. Let's be some creativity. Give people imagination. We're going to go ahead and do our top 5 dream matches. Dream matches. But
this is awesome.
We're going to do our dream matches.
They don't have to be one-on-one, right? They don't have to all
it could be singles, tag team, or Hell in a Cell. It could be however you like. We'll do that for, obviously we're going to do that for week 17, I'm sorry. We'll do that for week 17. So we'll do our top 5 dream matches. So I'm looking forward to do that. So we're going to be, switching it up here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm looking forward for next week. Also, stay tuned as well. Next Saturday, we will go ahead and actually discuss on our Instagram live, speaking about the aftermath of what happened on AEW Dynamite and, NXT TakeOver, maybe, depending. We might save that for the following episode. But I think more AEW Dynamite because I'm curious of what's going on, what's going to happen and, what the card, stack. So I'm looking forward to see that. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also follow our social media platforms. You'll see it below the description. And also tune in as well for next Friday, as we're going to go ahead and discuss of what's going to, the match card for SummerSlam and any upcoming future events as well, and for NXT TakeOver as well, third. So looking forward to that. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Ivan C, the Devious One, alongside with Mr. MGC, the Steamboat, the Cardonas, the Hardys, the Jacksons. I think the list could go long. Right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Matthew Cartagena, and of course, the real great American hero. Nope, it ain't Hogan. I'm sorry, Hogan. Kurt Angle, it's not you. It's the great American hero, Mike Lopez here. That's right. We're saying to you, salud, and we'll see you next week.